Hello, princess, and welcome, members of the court. I don't know what to do. I have a stalker. She's right there. I mean, we had a fun 12 days together. It was awesome. I will always remember, but I've moved on. Yet, she's followed me court to court. This is the 4th time she's arrived unannounced. Does she want me back that bad? Fine, fine. God. But there's still her sister. Yes, I know. I've been putting off the final decree. I guess we'll just fix that today. Would you like to be stalked by a cruise ship? Fun fact, she was not supposed to be here today. Her original itinerary had her here in Ocho Rios yesterday. So, don't know what that's about. Well, alright, so, first off, I like the ship. I really, really like the ship. I think they've done a fantastic job with her and her whole class. I know a lot of the guests on board were a little bit, I don't know, I guess disappointed. But most of them had become accustomed to, well, this class ship. And their first impression was, small, but, yes, the Aqua Loop strikes again. We had a rollback. Okay, ooh, how do I engineer a rollback? I don't have a monokini, and they probably won't let me wear. Maybe they will. All right, there we go. Anyway, they're used to this class of ship, and, you know, they think, oh, she's smaller, so whatever. Well, sometimes you just don't need a big ship to have fun. It's one thing you'll notice on these, Breakaway and Breakaway Plus class ships is a lot of empty or dead space. The marketplace here, this has not been open once on this cruise, and there's no real reason for it. And this giant corridor here, which is basically just white walls, on Prima, and I suppose all of the, wait, do we call her the Leonardo class or the Prima class? Good question. Anyway, on Prima, every square inch is something. There's no wasted space anywhere on that ship, which makes her feel a bit, honestly, busy. I liked it. It's just not having the dead space. It makes her feel, well, optimized or complete or even finished, right? Because there's not anything like this. You know, I wonder if they finally fixed the sidewalk, the glass. What do you call those things? So I didn't really write a script for this. I just took a bunch of random notes while I was on board. So that's what I'm going off of. So if this seems a bit disjointed, doesn't flow very well, hey, sometimes you gotta get what I give you, right? All right, so next item, I'm walking into the atrium. The internet service was terrible, horrible. It was not at all becoming of a brand new cruise ship from what wants to be a mostly premium line. In fact, I had better service on Carnival Sunrise. Yes, that okay, not the crew again, that kind of a disaster. Flawless. And on every other ship I've been on for a long time, everything works just fine. Prima? Yeah, it was a pain. However, this does give me an opportunity to mention something. For some reason, yesterday or the day before, there must have been some change because a VPN that I use started working and YouTube started working. And I don't know if it's supposed to. The only package they offered me online was the unlimited. But I don't know if that includes streaming, but it wasn't working until 2 days ago. Now it does. What? I'm not complaining, but seriously? Our next stop is Malting's Whiskey Bar, because if you have the PP Plus package, the whiskey selection is phenomenal. Now, there are, I think, 5 or 6 ones that are even beyond that, but here they have a excellent selection. Over on Prima in the Whiskey Bar, I think that's what they call it, right? There's like 2 full pages of both foreign and domestic options, so good on them for that. But you gotta have the PP Plus package. Here on Norwegian Bliss, they feature 6, while on Norwegian Prima, they feature Donna Summer, or the Donna Summer story? I don't know, but either way, it didn't work. So, a couple of things. It was really hard to follow because the actors played different roles and they would sort of change context almost on the fly. So I was never really sure which Donna was speaking or performing, or whether it was her mother or someone else. Very strange. They also had some gender swapping roles, which made the characters a little bit hard to understand. And it wasn't just me. I talked to some other guests who felt the same way. The show, I don't know, it didn't flow very well. And again, I must remind everybody that there is a difference between the cast and the show. was not written very well. So this is entirely on the producers and writers, not the very excellent and incredibly talented, by the way, all three Donnas, performers. So yeah, I don't know, the script, not so great. Also, either it was just loaded with a bunch of woke nonsense, or there's things about Donna Summer that apparently nobody knows about, because they talked about some things that I could not find any mention of in any article or mini biography or anything that I'd never heard of before. So, I don't know, it just came off as just strange. And I would probably not see it again. But what they did with the theater in general is fantastic. These two ships were under construction, either overlapping or at the same time. Certainly their design overlapped, but so I'm not gonna say they stole this from Virgin, but the theater on Norwegian Prima converts to, well, a dance floor or a party area after the show, and they did that very well. There were, I think, 3 or 4 highly themed parties. Disco Wonderland was absolutely fantastic. That was probably, I don't know, that's up there. It's top 4-ish, maybe, 4 parties at sea. I'd have to really think about some other ones that, well, I'd have to remember some of the other ones first. Don't read too much into that, but what you're going to read into it is probably true. So yes, that they did very, very well. The retractable seats, the giant dance floor, that worked very, very well. And the parties they put on, with one exception, were phenomenal. The spa, or more specifically, the thermal suite, completely different experience from these Breakaway Plus class ships. And, well, the relaxation area was small, but it did have a fantastic view. There is no plunge pool, and I really like the long pool. I talked about how that seems to be a throwback from the SS Norway, but it seemed to be optimized for that ship, and a number of experiences that I had previously enjoyed were not available. So would I get it again? Unless it was a treat yourself vacation cruise, probably not. I did not get the thermal suite here for a very similar reason. I did enjoy it, and I don't know, if the pool were accessible on its own, I think that would be great, but $300 for a nappy spot, you know what, if that's your intent on the cruise, yes. If not, I don't know, take a tour and judge for yourself. Here we are at the social to talk about the glass rules. And on Norwegian Prima, you can pretty much take a glass everywhere except, I think, I don't know what this meant. My note is glass except. I have really no idea what that meant. It might have been, okay, so would someone go back and watch all the videos several times and let me know what I was thinking of? It's probably some place where you can have a glass, but you probably shouldn't. I don't really know, because they're really good about that here, okay? Huh, oh, no. Maybe, no. Huh, okay, I don't know. Where could you take glass? Again, this weirdly dead space. I've never seen anybody sitting in here. On Getaway, I think the ship model is in here, which attracts people, but this, not so much. Next up, main dining. Well, here we are at Manhattan Room to point out, huge win for Team Prima. The dining room, the Hudson, the menu is the same all the time. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it is the same. I think they have a special, perhaps every night, but otherwise the main menu is the same, and I love that. I really think they should do that everywhere, because menus are very stressful for me. I don't want to miss something, and having that, I was like, okay, if there's something I want to try, I can go and have it some other day. It's not going to disappear forever, and I will miss it and cry about that. So if you like the rotating menu, Prima is not for you, but if you like consistency and predictability, then yes, definitely. Yes, the same dining room menu every day. For me, a huge, huge win. Norwegian Prima did not have a version of the crystalline entity, so if you are a Star Trek version, keep that in mind. They also did not do Star Trek trivia. I'm over that. The local on Norwegian Prima has pretty much the same menu as every local. However, it does have one thing that is unique to that class, I guess. That's outdoor seating. And I think this goes back to their space optimization. The local is available or open for, well, actually it's open 24 hours. And I think they realized that it's a much better utilization of that outdoor space for a dining experience that is open 24 hours rather than what they have here with La Cucina, Chops, Cagney's, Lobos, and Ocean Blue that are only available for a dinner service. So all that deck space basically is wasted for most of the day. That freed up space for other more important things like loungers and infinity pools and hammocks and swings and a lot of other fun stuff. So yeah, outdoor seating for the local and not for the other restaurants. Yes, definitely a win. We're up here to talk about the slides on Norwegian Prima. They switched away from water slides to dry slides, and I think that was a very good move, I think, for the market that Prima is going after. The dry slides, well, they're much more accessible. You don't need to go and put on a bathing suit or anything like that. You can pretty much do them at any time, you know, and I found that very convenient. Although this slide here, the tube slide, is better, I think, for a ship, like I said, or the role that Prima is expected to play. The dry slides, yeah, I think they work out very well. If the drop slide is working, let's mention that, of course. The tube slide, however, honestly, do it once, but it is so short that, quite frankly, I think they could probably find a better use for the deck space. It's, yeah, it is about a 5-second ride, and, you know, I marathoned it, practically every other day. So, I don't know, it was disappointing, I'll put it that way. But the dry slides, yeah, they were super, super fun on a cool day. Remember that, don't get stuck, and definitely try the drop slide if it is open. So I'm gonna count that as a win. The dry slides on Norwegian Prima, yes, that's a win. The pool decks on Prima, really small, and that's okay. I don't ever go in the pool, so not a big deal for me. It actually was good for parties, except it created 2 separate sides, so that was a bit weird. But if you like a nice, expansive pool deck, maybe not for you. But the thing about Prima is there's so many other places to just lie out in the sun that small pool deck, yeah, you will not visit. Back at the theater, yes, I know I should plan this better, but the Sephoria, something or other show, that one felt a little rushed. It was just weird. Like some executive sat down with his 8-year-old daughter and they came up with a show, that kind of thing. The costumes, the visuals. Maybe it's just a filler show for longer cruises, but I mean, it was fun, but it's not up to par with the rest of them. Also, I was kind of missing the cruise director taking part in the costuming of one of the shows. I very much would have liked to see Cruise Director Simon come out dressed as Donna Summer. Just like, what's his name on Norwegian Encore? It was not Quincy, Silas did in Kinky Boots. And while the mini golf on Norwegian Prima is an upcharge, it is light years beyond what is available, at least here on Norwegian Bliss. So, my final decree is, I actually think Norwegian Prima is my favorite Norwegian ship. I had noted that I predicted Bliss would be my favorite ship for a number of reasons, but seeing what they've done, how they've really optimized the experience, no, I think, I think in this case, newer is better. I was not at a lack for things to do over 12 days, and I had a great time. Part of it was having the thermal suite and the PP Plus package, of course, but it was my big vacation for the year, so I decided to really enjoy it. But I think a lot of the improvements they made are well worth it. Now, who is Norwegian Prima for? That is a great question. I don't think it's for families with small kids. The kids area, they have one, but it's not exactly highly emphasized, and it would not surprise me, maybe I mentioned this before, if at least one, maybe 2 of these ships was designated as 18 and above. Again, back to the question of who is Norwegian Prima for, I would say it is for families, extended families without small children, where everybody qualifies for some kind of beverage package. Yeah, that's who would enjoy Norwegian Prima best. Or groups of friends. I think they would enjoy Prima very much as well. So, yes, I would definitely book a ride on Norwegian Prima if, well, we'll talk about that later. It is still Norwegian. Oh, and by the way, yes, I don't mean to nitpick. It is Norwegian Prima, not NCL Prima. I am sailing aboard Norwegian Bliss, not NCL Bliss. All right, just keep that straight. Anyway, despite the drama that it took to get home, you have already seen that. Everything worked out fine, no worries there. I thoroughly, 100% absolutely enjoyed my experience aboard Norwegian Bliss, and wow, even after paying for the super duper premium plus beverage package, there were a few whiskeys that were just out of my reach. No, not just out of my reach, we're talking like $250 a shot. Okay, fine. I could still be and am thankful for my problems.